Hi guys, Al DeMarco here, and this is going to be your Friday video report for free selections. Coming your way in just a moment, I have two nighttime previews for you in the big dance, Kansas and Boston U, along with North Carolina and Long Island, and daytime previews and picks on Duke Hampton and Memphis and Arizona. 64, 45, and 3 run with the free picks here in all sports combined over the past 3 months. Those picks plus a reminder about that money-saving discount coupon code I gave you yesterday. If you didn't take advantage of it, you can still use it today and save $25 off of any single purchase. Quick story for you. A couple days ago, I was heading down to see my mother in the hospital. She had some emergency surgery over the weekend. I forgot my cell phone. And I forgot both of my cell phones, okay? That's how bad it was. I have two, one for personal, one for business. And nowadays, guys, I don't know about you, but it's like you leave your house or you leave your cell phone someplace, you're lost. I had to make a couple of calls. I'm looking for a phone booth. I mean, I'm in the main line of Philadelphia. I haven't been in Vegas for the last 4 weeks because, as I've shared with you, my father is near death and my mother is ill as well. So I'm in the main line of Philadelphia. I can't find a phone booth. I'm driving up and down these streets. I'm looking at every corner. I'm going, where do they have phone booths anymore? Doesn't anybody use a pay phone any longer? And it reminded me of years ago when I first started gambling, okay? My father used to be president of a labor union. And, well, let's just say we always were concerned that the home phones were tapped, along with the company cars being bugged. But it was a legitimate concern. So for all those years, I couldn't place a bet at home. Now, I had 2 bookmakers in Philadelphia and 1 in Atlanta. So, you know, on a Saturday and Sunday morning, I am getting lines all over the place. I'm placing some bets in Atlanta, if the lines were better there, laying off action between 2 different bookies in Philadelphia, and I couldn't do it at home. So, like the mailman, come rain or shine, sleet or snow, I am at a phone booth with no cover, no outdoor cover, not those little boxes you used to remember, but a payphone at my favorite 7-Eleven. Every single day for about 4 to 5 years, I'm placing my bets at a payphone. And I thought about that the other day as I'm desperately looking for a payphone myself. Anyway, let's get to your free picks. And first of all, let me remind you that the money-saving discount coupon offer, it saves you $25 off of any single purchase you make. You don't have to necessarily buy my play either. That discount coupon code is DANCE25. DANCE25, no space between the word dance or the number 25. You'll enter that when prompted in your shopping cart. It'll save you $25 off of any single purchase that you happen to make today. It's a one-time usage coupon, so if you didn't take advantage of it yesterday, certainly go ahead and use it today and save $25. Now, as for myself today, I'm going to tell you something. I am coming out with my biggest play ever in college basketball. And it's going to be on the Villanova-George Mason game that goes at 2:10 Eastern Time in the East Regional in Cleveland, Ohio. It is the one game that I found that I absolutely loved from the moment the tournament pairings were announced and the odds were posted on Sunday night. It is without a doubt my favorite game here in the first round, and obviously my first 30-dimer of the entire season and ever in college basketball. These are the same 30-dime plays that I'm a perfect 7-0 in NFL and college football action over the past 3 years combined. The most recent one, of course, in the NFL was the Patriots' 45-3 blowout of the Jets in that Monday Nighter. And in college football, had my first ever 30-dimer on the national title game when I backed Auburn against Oregon. That gives you an idea how strong this play is. But now, let's talk about full disclosure here. Have I been winning? Are you kidding me? No is the answer there. Did I have a brief 4-day winning streak snap yesterday? You betcha I did. But I'll tell you something, you know, you can't bet scared. You can't play scared. This game warrants a 30-dime rating. And I can live with myself losing this game, okay? I cannot live with myself not playing this game for the way it should be wagered on, and that's why it's a 30-dime release. Now, there are no guarantees in gambling. This is a 50-50 proposition. I'm not telling you to risk the mortgage money on this or take money that you would have allocated to put food on your table. Let's not be stupid here, guys. And I'm being totally upfront with you. I have absolutely sucked here. But again, I can't live with myself if I don't play this game the way it is, and that's why it's a 30-dime release. Now, let's get to your free picks. Look at the nighttime games first. Let's look at Kansas and Boston U. It goes at 6:50 Eastern Time. It's in Tulsa, so Kansas obviously is going to be the home favorite in this one. Boston U, Come on, are we serious here? I mean, the Terriers have won 11 in a row. They're from the American East Conference. The last 5 years, the American East representative has lost by margins of 23, 24, 18, 27, and 13 points. It's a bad shooting team. Hits just 40.3% of its shots this year. The Morris Twins, I think, will dominate down low. Count on them for at least 40 to 45 points in this game. I like the way that Kansas really put the hammer down against Texas in the Big 12 tournament. And remember, Kansas still recalls last year getting knocked out in the second round by Northern Iowa. Jayhawks, no let up. They roll in this one. That's why I'm willing to lay the 22.5 points. Next game is going at 7:15 Eastern Time in Charlotte. Gee, you think that's a favorable draw for the North Carolina Tar Heels? Yes, they're coming off a loss to Duke. But do you realize they are 6-1-1 against the spread in the game after their last 8 losses to the Blue Devils? They've won 17 of their last 30 games overall. 2 of those 3 losses coming against the Duke Blue Devils. Roy Williams, 19-0 straight up in first-round games in the tournament during his coaching career, 11-7-1 against the spread, which isn't a bad record, all things considered, because most of those times, of course, he is a huge, huge favorite in those first-round games during his coaching career. As for this Long Island team, sure, they averaged nearly 83 points a game, but they played one step-up game, if you want to call it, this year. It was against Northwestern. They lost by 16 points to the Wildcats. They're a lousy free throw shooting team, hitting just 64.3% of their shots from the charity stripe. They don't have a starter over 6'7". I think North Carolina rolls here convincingly. That's why I'm willing to lay the 18 points. By the way, Long Island also averages 15 turnovers a game. Now, in your afternoon games, let's stay in the Charlotte region again with the Duke Blue Devils. They're laying 23.5 points against Hampton. I would have been a little concerned with Duke, but knowing that they're going to get Kyrie Irving back today, I don't know if you happened to watch this guy at the beginning of the season, but Duke got out of the gates 8-0, and Irving averaged almost 18 points a game. If he had stayed healthy this year and not suffered the toe injury, no doubt he was a one-and-done player and going to be a top 5 draft pick. Really, that's how good this guy is. Now you've got Nolan Smith, who's red hot, and I've told you the importance of having great guard play in the Big Dance historically. That's why I'm willing to lay the 23.5 points here. Listen, Hampton comes from the MEAC conference. Big deal. That conference, its teams, 0-5 against the spread the last 5 years in the Big Dance. They're the worst rebounding team in the entire tournament. They only hit 41% of their field goals as well, so I'm going to again go and lay the big points with Duke. By the way, now I just gave you 3 big double-digit favorites. How did the double-digit favorites do yesterday? Well, they went 4-1 against the spread. Of course, the only one that didn't cover was Kentucky. Yours truly had the Kentucky Wildcats. Double-digit favorites, 4-1 yesterday, 6-8 last year in the tournament, 36, 27, and 3 the last 5 years combined in the tournament. Overall yesterday, the Dogs and the Chalks, well, they split out. The 16 games going 8-8. What I find interesting is that 5 of those 8 dogs won outright. Of course, a couple of them, most of them were very small dogs, with the exception of being Morehead State's upset of Louisville. The other winners being UCLA, Gonzaga, Butler, and Richmond. So 5 outright dog winners yesterday. And your final free pick, I'm going to go with Arizona minus the 5.5 points over Memphis. Memphis is a very young team. This game being played at 2:45 Eastern Time. They did win the Conference USA. I'll give them that. And they won it on UTEP, the host team's home court, by a single point last Saturday morning. But this Arizona team is good. You know how many times I've ridden them this season. Derek Williams is a stud. 18 points, 11 rebounds a game. Arizona has won 11 of its last 10 of its last 13 games, I think. They were an 11-2 this year, straight up against non-conference foes, 7-3-1 against the spread in that stretch. Meanwhile, Memphis 2-9 ATS outside of Conference USA. That tells you something about Memphis right there. Memphis is going to be a good team down the road, but they're too young here. I love Arizona, love Sean Miller, so I'll go with Arizona as your final free pick. Good luck, everybody, and I will catch you again on Saturday morning.